Dominus vobiscum, et cum spiritu tuo.
Each year, first-year seminarians from both Notre Dame and St. Benedict's seminaries participate in a humanitarian mission trip to Nicaragua. This trip is an integral part of the formation process the seminarian will go through to become a Catholic priest.
The purpose to go on these mission trip is to experience a different culture. One of the things is that, we could go on a mission trip, in New Orleans, in Baton Rouge, but to go to a different place, to a different country, it puts us out of our comfort zone, and it sets into a place that, how do we minister to someone who is of a different language, a different culture, a different religious background. And so to experience all those things adds more of the dynamic of what it means to be a Catholic.
It's a humbling experience to go down on mission expecting that you're going to be the one who's doing all the ministering, when really they offer so much to you. For me, even going down and not knowing the language when I first went down, the people were communicating on such a spiritual depth, such a faith, such a trust in God that He's going to provide for them, even in the midst of them not having as much.
All of us go as a missionary, and we feel like we're empowered to bring something to them. But as the days went by, we quickly learned that they were the ones teaching us.
It is very important as seminarians to have the ability to go on this mission trip for numerous reasons. One, because you get exposure to a culture in which you may normally not have exposure to. You get to see the plight of people and both the joys and the struggles that they have as being growing up in a different country, and also to be able to be humble enough to see that it's not about what you have or how much you have, but in the very simple things that the Lord, that's where He works most profoundly. That's where He works most mightily. And so the humbling experience of thinking you're the one who's going to do all the work, and God is saying, no, you're the one who I'm going to be working on, is a great experience for a seminarian to have.
One of the main jobs that we do on these mission trips is to build houses, or to build whatever is needed around Nicaragua. But the main purpose of being on this trip is to be with the people.
The family atmosphere and community and culture that they have is just incredible.
The children were chatting, talking, playing games out in the yard. It's something that I haven't really seen out here. Many of the families were out cooking, laughing, being together. Although they were materially poor, there was something richness about it.
I completely believe that they have given me much more than I have given them, and have taught me to be well aware of that anytime I'm in any ministry situation, whether it be in Nicaragua or whether it be here, that the Lord wants to offer me something, and many times has more to offer me than I have to offer.
We thought we were the missionaries. They were doing a great deal of teaching us as well.
All of these events that occur on these mission trips help us to become better, well-rounded priests, and it would allow us to serve better in the church.
For many years, the Knights of Columbus of the Louisiana State Council have provided the necessary funds to pay the travel expenses of the seminarians and the leadership team. These funds provide the seminarians the opportunity to witness the great works of charity and goodwill that they will provide to the people of Nicaragua.
It takes a good bit of money to get down there, not only in transportation, but we pay for all the projects that we do, and then we leave enough money for them to complete any project that maybe we weren't able to finish. And so the Knights of Columbus have been generous year in and year out in supporting the seminarians and this Accompano mission. Without them, without those finances, then it wouldn't be something that we could do every year.
The thing that impacts us a lot is that we know that other groups, especially the Knights, are helping us, and in a certain way, they're contributing with us in spirit of what it means to be on a mission trip.
Knights of Columbus has always been a great supporter of seminarians and priests. And one of the most important experiences that seminarians could have is, how do we bring God's love when you don't have the material resources? I think that's one of the most important aspects of the missionary experience, is that how do you communicate God's love? When you're left with very little of the outside resources, you rely on the Holy Spirit, the very heart of the missionary zeal.
The goal of the seminary mission program is to revitalize the fundraising that is very much needed in order to provide the funds for the annual mission trip. The challenge to all members of the Knights of Columbus in Louisiana is to really understand that the seminarians are depending upon us to make this a successful venture. With this in mind, we are very confident that the Brother Knights in Louisiana will not let the seminarians down. It will require a new commitment by every council and member to accept this very important responsibility.
The KC Seminarian Fund is something that I see has an impact in my life, in my formation as a seminarian, and in all the seminarians. It's so great to see, and the guys feel the support of the KCs, because the KCs not only giving money, but the KCs are actively involved in promoting and supporting vocations on so many levels. And so it is a beautiful thing. When you talk to a seminarian and you speak about the KCs, they're going to start smiling because of all the support, not only financially, but as a person and as a community that the KCs give to all seminarians and priests. And so to have that continue, to have that legacy continue, is going to be something that's going to continue to bear fruit in the lives of seminarians and future priests.
The Knights of Columbus are obligated to make this a very successful program. We must take on this responsibility and ensure that our seminarians will always have the opportunity to continue their formation to priesthood by participating in the mission trip.
Praise God.